here with you.
Welcome to a new audio drama series called I'm Here With You. This series is co-produced by Angham Mardi and Lauren Pepperell in Arabic and English as a part of the New Conversations UK-Egypt Creative Partnership Program. For more details, check out the link in the description. If you're not already wearing headphones, we recommend putting some on to become fully transported into the sonic landscape of each story.
Hello, this is the Mental Health and Crisis Support Helpline. First, let me reassure you, everything said during this call is confidential. Please feel comfortable to speak freely. My name is Noah, and I'm here with you.
Mental Health and Crisis Support Helpline? To be honest, I was given a card with your number on it at the funeral director's office. The person who gave it to me said people who lose someone close to them might need support. But I'm not sure what kind of service you provide. I mean, how can you help me?
We're here to provide emotional support to anyone who needs it. But first, tell me a bit about yourself. That is, if you're comfortable to.
I'm Sara. I'm 62 years old and live alone. Well, I'm not totally alone. I have lots of cats. But no one ever visits me. Can you send someone over to check in on me every so often? Only to check if I'm still alive and didn't die. I just got back from my friend's funeral. We were neighbours. She lived a few doors down at the end of our road. Her house was very pretty with plants and flowers growing out front. She was the only one taking care of them. They're starting to look like they'll die soon. She died alone in her house. The neighbours only noticed several days later because of the smell. I can't say her death affected me too much. I'd only just got to know her recently. But I'm scared I'll die the same way, and no one will notice. Can you send someone over to check on me once in a while?
You said you live alone, but do you have any family around?
My family? I've got no family. My mother and father have passed away, and my siblings are busy with their own lives, travelling or whatnot. No one has called in years. I'm divorced. I got 3 ungrateful kids who never ask after me. Every now and then, one of them calls. But I wish they would call more often to check in on me. They only ever call to make my blood boil. They'd prefer it if I died, so they could take my money and my house and get their hands on my gold jewellery. Can you imagine anyone wishing their mother was dead? They're all ungrateful, just like their father. Their father married me when I was young. I was pretty, and he was rich, really rich, but I never loved him. After I gave birth to his son and 2 daughters, he got up and left. He never once called or asked after his kids. I'm the one who raised them totally by myself. I wish they'd at least appreciate that. I never heard a kind word or any affection from them. They treat me as their rival, like I'm a child. Call that polite? Is that how I raised them? At their age, I kept my head down and wouldn't dare look my mother in the eye, or my father. My parents' words would linger like a knife against my neck. I would never say that I needed something, and I definitely wouldn't object to anything. When my mother bought me a dress, I'd say, "It's wonderful," and not a word more. Whenever my parents told me to do something, I'd do it, without question. I never raised my voice once, because I was brought up properly. But my kids have turned out to be nothing like me. They're disrespectful. My daughter always wants something. I want new trousers. I need new shoes and a new bag. I want that toy. It never ends. And I'm supposed to buy her all of that? No. She's just a little brat. If she got everything she wanted, she'd be spoiled. So what if her bag has a rip? I'll sew it up. She doesn't need a new one. And what's the problem with narrow shoes? They shape your feet nicely and stop them getting too big. My son's the oldest. He's a man now. He has 5 kids, but doesn't let me see them. Why? Because he says he's protecting their mental health. I'm their grandmother. I have a right to see them. Didn't I raise him and his sisters? What does he think is gonna happen? I mean, what's he mean, mental health? He thinks kids can have mental health issues, does he? Huh?
Yes, I'm listening.
Mental health, he says. He wants me to go to some psychiatrist to learn how to handle my grandchildren. Why? Am I a lunatic? Is there anyone who'd be more affectionate to them than me? Who would accept being forbidden to watch their grandchildren play in front of them? Who would accept not being allowed to get them sweets? Every time I ask my son to see my grandchildren, he tells me that I seem to have forgotten how I treated him and his sisters as kids. What did I do? Even if I did, I'm their mother. Sure, I smacked them a bit, but it was in their best interest. I was afraid they'd turn out bad kids. My family hit me as a child, and I never took revenge on them when I grew up. Is there any mother who doesn't smack their kids or punish them? I wanted to bring them up properly, but in the end they left me. My son got married and my 2 daughters ran away. My youngest daughter used to say a whole bunch of things that I never understood. She'd bicker with me all the time. She always thought she was right. Who's the one who's supposed to say what's right or wrong? Me or her? I've seen and done more than she has, and I know better. And I know what's in her best interests. I mean, she runs away and thinks she doesn't deserve a smacking? Should I just leave her on the street to do whatever she wants? Well, what good did running away and doing what she likes ever do for her? She married, had kids, and got divorced. I wasn't invited to the wedding and never met her children. I'm sure her husband left because she didn't have strong family ties. She did it to herself. No mother hates her children. And no matter what I did, it's not right to cut me off like that. Or talk to me in a rotten way. Or forbid me to see my grandchildren. Whatever. I'm not going to plead for someone to talk to me or come visit. Soon enough, they'll realize they were wrong. But it seems soon isn't coming soon enough. And may never come. And the other daughter that ran away? I never heard a thing from her since. She never tried to call me once. Not that it matters. Like I said, when they do call, they make my blood boil, don't they? They don't know how to address their mother properly. They don't seem to be able to put up with me the way I put up with them when they were young. They don't appreciate that I treated them better than my mother treated me. She was tough, and my father was tough. Even when I got married, no one asked if I agreed or not. My father just approached me with a contract and said, "Sign here." So I signed. But you could say I treated marriage like a job. I did what I had to do as a housewife, as a trade-off. No one has a right to my money. My children have no right to ask about it. Their father was supposed to take care of their finances. I gave my life for that money, and then they come along and tell me it's their father's money? No, it isn't. It's my money. No one has a right to blame me for something I worked hard for. Isn't it enough that I never had one single nice day in my life? Not with their father, or with my family, or with my children. Yeah, you broke it, stupid cat. I swear I'm gonna chuck you out the window.
Are you okay?
Even the cats can't just let things be. Everything is already trashed. Now even the vase. You know, if I ever broke something in our house, there's no way my family would let me get away with it easily. My mother would scold me endlessly and accuse me of doing it deliberately. She'd say, if you had looked after it properly, it wouldn't have broken. It never once occurred to her that it was an accident, or I didn't mean it. I didn't do that to my kids. Even though they destroyed stuff all the time. I wouldn't let them touch the electrical appliances. That I wouldn't do. But they'll always say I was the one who didn't know how to use them or how to read the instructions and make fun of me. But my father never taught me any of that stuff. It's not my fault. By the way, I can read and write and do maths. I don't need anything else. They try to teach me all these new things, but you can't teach an old dog. They're supposed to learn from me, not teach me. They'd belittle my life's worst of experiences and say it's irrelevant in today's world. Since when have lessons learned from older family generations been thrown in the dirt? Aren't they supposed to listen to what I have to say or what?
I'm listening.
It never mattered to me whether or not someone else was in my life. I was never afraid of being alone. I never thought about death. But when I saw the way my friend died, I understood that I was being delusional. Getting older is more difficult than I thought. I don't deserve for it to be this way. Are you still here?
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, what do you mean I'm listening? I'm listening. You never reply or talk back and say what you think. I thought you said this was a helpline. But you don't say a thing and I've had enough. Are you going to send someone over to my house or are you going to act like my kids too? I've had it up to here. Fine. I don't need a thing from any of you. I'll die how I die.
This episode was originally written in Arabic by Angham Mardi and produced and translated into English by Lauren Pepperell. Special thanks goes to Mahmoud al-Saghir for the sound design, and to voice actors Sara Sheekh, who plays the role of Sara, and Tahir Shah, who plays Noah. Thanks also to theater groups el-Qaadah, in Alexandria and Alleyway Radical Theatre in London, and to podcasting platforms Komet Kashakeel and the Green Room podcast Alexandria. And to you for listening.